Alrighty. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all having a good Easter. This is being recorded on Easter Day, so hope you're all having a good Easter. I'm just out here changing the oil. I don't have Skylar with me, unfortunately. He's having to do some other things right now, so I'm just changing the oil on my 2008 FZ1 right now. Should be quite a bit of fun. Let's get right on into it. So this is my 2008 FZ1. As you can see, it's got an aftermarket pipe on it, a GYTR pipe on it. So it's got different headers than what's going to be stock on your bike, so it may be a little bit different than yours. But these are the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a 17 wrench, possibly. 17 socket with a extension on it and a ratchet. And then your oil filter. I went with K&N. That's what Cycle Gear had available at the time. You need an oil drain pan. And I got 4 quarts of oil. It only asked for 3. I get 4 because I flush it a little bit. You'll see what I mean in a minute here. But this is what you're looking at. So you've got your oil filter right here. You've got your drain plug right here. That's all you need. It's quick and easy. You don't even have to have it on the center stand for this. Actually, it's recommended on the side stand for draining the oil because of that drain plug being right there. So, let's get on into it. Okay, y'all, the first thing you're going to want to do, take your 17 mil ratchet and loosen up your drain plug there. And then you want to take your oil pan. Mine's a little bit too big for this, so you got to kind of slide it under until it fits down in there. So, now you can take your drain plug out. Now the trick here to not get oil all over your hands is push pressure up on that while you're loosening it. And once you know that your plug's free, like that, you just drop it and out to the side. You just let it drain out. And try to make sure you got a crush washer or something on there. I don't have one on there, but you want to make sure you got a crush washer on there to be able to keep all the fluid inside there. So just drain in there and I'll be right back with you once I do the oil filter. Alright, so for the oil filter, you're going to take your... I have a nifty little K&N on there, and it's got that little nipple there. If you don't have this, you're going to have to get a filter wrench on there. Do this because this makes life so much easier. You just grab it, twist it up a couple times until it starts seeping some oil out. Okay, you got it loose and loose. And then just let it drain oil out. While that stuff's draining, you can come over here, loosen up your oil cap right here. Pull your oil cap off. Inspect that O-ring nice and closely. Make sure it's still good. Mine's still good. So you want to grab your oil filter. Open your box up. Pull your new filter out. It's going to have this little cover on it. Pull that cover off. Remember to throw things away. I put it back in there because I've only got one hand. Open your oil up. I got 4 quarts of Mobil 1. I only use Mobil 1. I think it's the best stuff. This bike does recommend a 20-40 mixture, but I go with a 10-40 mixture. So then you're going to take that, dump it into here, and I'll show that in a minute. I'm going to take this, and nice and easy, dump it in there. You want to pre-oil your filter here. So one thing you're going to do, fill it up, all the way up, and you can see it go down a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but when you do it in person, you'll see it go down a little bit. And you want to just keep filling it up until it's nice and full and not going down anymore, because that's pre-oiling your filter. If you don't do this, you could blow your engine. Most engines now can accommodate not having to pre-oil it, but I've heard of cars blowing engines because of this. because the oil can't get through there quick enough, or you have to add like an extra quart after you do it. So it's just easier if you just add the oil now. Don't have any questions, don't have any problems, no hesitations, you know. So just do it now, get it over with. Might as well. It's gonna do it anyways, so might as well. Yeah, you can see it bubbling there a little bit. See how it's bubbling? So it's sucking down that oil right now. So when that stops sucking the oil down, then we'll put this oil filter on. Speaking of which, come over here and you can just reach in there, undo your oil filter, put your oil filter off to the side like that, and now you've got a clean surface there. Undoing your oil filter, you want to inspect the surface where your oil filter goes. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Don't get any dirt, dust inside there. It's not a good idea. So at this point, you're going to want to take your plug and put it on back in. So at this point, you're starting to do the opposite of what you were doing before. So this part, you might get some oil on your hands. So you can wear rubber gloves if you want. It's up to you though. Just make sure you leave the oil pan under there this entire time. Otherwise you can get oil everywhere. Nobody likes oil on the ground. It doesn't look good. And it can stain your concrete if you leave it there too long. So just make sure you put this oil, keep the oil pan underneath the entire time. Okay, so after you get the oil filter primed, you take oil and you want to go around the ring the entire way. Make sure that ring's nice and oily, because that's going to be your seal, and it needs to be able to expand. They're pretty dry right out of the box, so you got to make sure you do that. And so I just dip my finger into the oil that's already in there and run it around, get it nice and lubed up, and then you can put it up inside and just trying to find how it wants to go on. And then once you get it, you just spin it on. Okay, so you got it on, and then you want to just get it on hand tight, as tight as you can get it. Now, degreaser is going to be a nice friend here when doing this with the hand. So you put it on. Okay, at this point you can pull your drain pan out. You take your wrench and you just tighten it a little bit more. I'm gonna do a couple turns because I couldn't really get it on there very tight because of my hands being so oily. So just nice and snug. You gotta remember the threads can strip out on these guys super easy, so you don't want to do it too tight. You got that, and then you can come over to your drain plug and you can tighten that guy back up too. So, and again, aluminum. This is aluminum. This piece is aluminum. So this bolt is steel. It can strip the threads out of this. One ugga-dugga, you know? Not much. Like, in the spec, I think it's about 15 foot-pounds, which at 10 foot-pounds is 1 finger tight. So, I mean, most people can do 5 foot-pounds with just their fingers. So you gotta remember, do it nice and lightly, otherwise you're gonna break things. And if you break that, you gotta get a whole new underpan. If you want to do it right, you could helicoil it, but it's not gonna be as good. I can guarantee that. Alright guys, so back here, got your oil cap. Alright guys, back here, so you take your bike, and I like to position myself up against the bike, like, so I put my body up against it, and then I just lean it up, just grab her around the seat there, just lean her up, and take a look at that oil fill spot. So there's no oil showing in it yet, so we're looking at probably another quart or so that needs to be added. So let's add another quart. Okay, y'all, so I added another quart. Bring the bike up here, and you can see there in the little window, so the bike's about straight up and down. So the in between those two notches there is where it should be. So it's right in between that, in between this notch here and that notch there. It's right in between that. I got a little oil drip down, but yeah, whatever. It's a motorcycle. I can clean it off with a hose. You put your cap back on. You make sure everything is nice and tight. There's no oil dripping down from your plug or your filter. And then you start her up. So we'll start her up here real quick. And go from there. Okay. So, gotta throw her in neutral. Alright. So now she's running. Want to let her run for about 30 seconds and then shut her off, and you'll check the oil again and make sure that it's good. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Just shut her off. And as you can see, there's no oil in there. That's why you always get a little bit more than what they recommend. That way you can add a little bit of extra if you have to. That's probably just going from filling up the engine, that's all. So it's probably going to be about half a quart. So I'll pour that in and get right back with you guys. Okay, y'all, just added half a quart about, and you can see she's about back up to level. So that's what you want to see. You want to see nice, clear, golden oil. You don't want to have black sludge in there. So it's nice to see that it's still a little bit clean, even after doing an oil change. That's why you always change your oil filter when you do an oil change. Because if you don't change your oil filter, what's the point in doing an oil change? There isn't any. If you don't do an oil filter when you do your oil change, and then you're not filtering out anything. Because your filter is already done at 4,000 miles. I like to do mine every 3,000 miles. Some people do them even at 2,000 miles. I probably should be doing it at 2, seeing as how hard I ride her. But I do her at 3. And she hasn't let me down. So, hope this was informational for some of y'all. This is a 2008 FZ1, so if you don't know how to do it on this guy, that's how you do it. More videos to come. I'm going to be doing some spark plugs on her. Probably going to be doing some of the fork tubes. As you can see, I have some socks down at the bottom there. You don't want that. So, do some fork tubes here soon. And, yeah. If you guys want to see anything else, just let us know down in the comments below. So we just got done with the oil change on the 2008 FZ1. If you found that helpful, that's awesome. Please hit that like and subscribe button for us. That'd mean a lot to us. We're just starting out, trying to get some more subscribers. I know we had Tom. Shout out to Tom for commenting on our video. Your first comment ever. Sweet. Thanks to have you. I'm really excited to get this channel going. So Skylar's out right now. He's doing some other things, so unfortunately he wasn't here for this video. But next week we're hopefully going to be doing the rest of the wiring on the F100 there. Hope you guys have a great day. It's Easter, like I mentioned, so happy Easter. It's quite a bit of fun doing these things. So if you guys like this, please hit that like and subscribe button. That means a lot to us. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Deuces.